Thank you very much, Courtney. Fixing that leaky shower head all by yourself can be an easy thing to do if you've got the right help, and that's when we bring in Cheryl Hood from DIY Chix. All right, so we got our shower head, and she's dripping on us, so we want to get rid of it, but we need to keep a couple things in mind first off. Basically, what I want to replace it with.
What you do is decide what you want. If you pay for your own water, I would suggest going for a low flow style so you can adjust it, make sure Hydro has had in the past, the grants that you can go and get a shower head, or if you want something a little fancier, you can get one with a hose and it goes and attaches, and you've got all these perfect pieces and parts that you can hang and things. This is especially great in a bathtub because if you have kids, you don't want the shower coming down, and sometimes you want to rinse, or if you have animals as well, it's great to wash them. So you can get these longer too, not just what comes in the kit.
Yeah, exactly. So first figure out what you want to need to do, and then we need to take the old one off, right? So this guy's starting to leak, so it just unwinds?
This one just unwinds. This one's only hand tight right now, but if it's too tight, what you need to find is, this is called a channel lock because it just moves around. So just grab it. If you're not going to save it, you don't have to worry about killing it or breaking it. So you just grab it around and then just twist it off gently. And then once it's loose, then you can just spin it off.
Let's quickly talk, because you went lefty-loosey.
Yeah,
there's also righty-tighty.
There's righty-tighty and lefty-loosey. But if you're not sure with the plumbing piece, just make sure that you just kind of try it on and see what direction it goes. Okay. Because what happens is when you put on there's a Teflon tape that you have to put on to seal the threads so that it doesn't leak some more. So that's what you're kind of doing at the moment.
And in certain plumbing things, it'll be righty-loosey and lefty-tighty.
Exactly. And it depends. Sometimes that's usually more for things that move. So if it moves in one direction, that you tighten it in that direction. So as it's moving, it keeps tightening it rather than loosening it, and vice versa. Okay, but it's just something to learn.
Keep that in mind when you go. Okay, so we got the old one off, and you said Teflon tape to make sure we don't have any leaks.
Teflon tape. You can buy it. This is about 79 cents. At any hardware store, so you can get a whole roll, and this will last you almost a lifetime unless you're a professional plumber. Most of the times, kits will come with a little band of the Teflon tape in the package, so you don't have to worry about it. It's there. Teflon tape is very thin, so you might go through a lot of it on it. But the one thing you need to do when you're putting it on the threads is follow the direction of the thread. So this will spin on this way, right? So you want to do this way as well. Do it a couple of times around.
And for everybody who doesn't know, it's not sticky, it's stretchy.
It's very stretchy, and it's also, as soon as you kind of cut it, it kind of does that little, kind of turns around, and then you can just easily just rip it off like that.
Okay, so it's on there nice and good, and that's going to fill up any gaps I got between my new shower head and the threads.
Exactly. While you're doing this as well, this is attached to another thread in the back. Don't undo this. This is usually in place by the plumber has done it. So they've got the Teflon tape. If you remove it, you have to replace the Teflon tape. So once you have that, then you have the piece. This is the piece I would suggest with these type of shower heads is actually put them together piece by piece. Don't put it all together and then try and do it, because then you have the whole thing spinning. So this one just goes on. So just spin it around.
Teflon tape's going to take up all the gaps that are in there.
It's going to take up all the gaps in there. Spin it around, try and hand tighten it as best you can. And you get to that point.
Nice. Now this is going to be tricky because we don't want to scar our shower head.
You don't want to scar the shower head. A lot of these tools are really, really sharp. They're designed to grab and grip. One of the things that I've done that I do is I'll take some tape, I'll wrap it around, just plain painter's tape. It's just enough to protect the finish. Yep. Just kind of fold it back a bit so that when you want to take it off, you can take it off well. And then you just take your adjustable pliers and just kind of make sure that it's about just a little bit smaller than the size of what you're doing. And then just do a half turn tight. Don't over tighten this, because most of the products right now are, and then this will just spin back.
There you go.
So there, just kind of check it, see that it's going to...
And half turn, because if not, I'm going to crack that plastic.
You will crack the plastic, absolutely. So you want it sitting there. You can turn it on again, seeing if it's going to leak or shoot, because it will definitely fly out of there pretty fast.
Great point. Test as you go along so you know exactly where that leak's going to be. So we got a new shower head coming up. You and I are going to talk about filling in those cracks in the bathtub. We're going to talk about caulking the tub properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got how to do it right and how to keep the mess from being a minimum. We got that and more coming up with DIY Chix. But now let's check on weather conditions. Here's Sean Greck.